At the beginning of the story, we see a truck traveling through a desert with several Mexican people on board. Among them is Moises, the main protagonist, holding his son's teddy bear. The teddy bear, however, is damaged and keeps ringing unexpectedly. Moises doesn't know how to stop it. A man sitting next to him suggests pressing the teddy bear's stomach, saying it might help. Moises follows his advice, and the ringing stops. We then learn that everyone in the truck is attempting to cross the border illegally into America. They are fleeing Mexico due to a lack of jobs and difficult living conditions. Their hope is to find a better life in America. As the truck continues its journey, it suddenly breaks down because of a punctured tire. The driver approaches the passengers and asks if anyone is a car mechanic. Moises steps forward and offers to help. After inspecting the truck, he realizes that the vehicle's condition is much worse than expected. The engine is broken, and it can no longer go further. The driver, along with a guide helping them cross the border, decides they will all continue the journey on foot. The group sets out, walking across the barren desert to reach the border. Meanwhile, we are introduced to Sam, a hunter, who is out in the desert with his pet dog, searching for prey. Back with Moises and the group, they finally cross the border wire and enter America. While walking, Sam hears a sound and fires a shot, thinking it might be his prey. The gunshot startles the group, causing them to panic and run. Since they are undocumented immigrants, they fear being caught. After running for a while, everyone becomes exhausted and sits down to drink water. Shortly after, we see an officer named Sheriff stopping Sam's car. Sam tells the sheriff that he is hunting rabbits, which is legal in the area. The sheriff warns him to stay away from the border because it's dangerous, mentioning that there have been reports of Mexican migrants crossing the border illegally. Sam pretends not to know about such reports and assures the sheriff that he hasn't seen anything. Both men then go their separate ways. As the migrants continue their journey, the group becomes separated. 6 people, including Moises, fall behind, while the rest move far ahead with the guide. Sam arrives at the area where the lagging group is hiding. He notices a handkerchief on the ground and uses it to instruct his dog to track its owner. Soon, Sam spots the migrants in the distance. Using his rifle, he first shoots and kills the guide who is helping them cross the border. He then begins hunting down the remaining migrants one by one. The terrified group scatters, but the vastness of the desert makes it impossible to escape. Sam methodically kills each person and even praises himself for his skill. As Sam prepares to leave in his car, his dog starts barking at a nearby mountain. Realizing that someone might be hiding there, Sam uses the binoculars attached to his rifle and spots people running. Moises and the others quickly realize they are being pursued. Sam sets his dog after them. While running, the dog catches one of the men at the back of the group and kills him. The rest continue fleeing, eventually reaching a high ledge with a large ditch in front of them. To escape, they must jump to another rock on the other side. One by one, they jump across. The last man, however, hesitates, terrified of making the jump. Just as Sam's dog reaches him, the man is forced to leap, but he fails to land properly and ends up hanging from the edge. Moises manages to grab and hold on to him. Using his binoculars, Sam sees the man dangling and shoots him, causing him to fall into the ditch. He then takes a shot at Moises, but Moises manages to dodge it and run away. Soon, Moises reunites with his friend Lobo, who is running ahead. Moises convinces Lobo that they need to stick together to survive. The 3 remaining migrants continue their desperate escape. Sam, meanwhile, sends his dog after them again and uses his map to find an alternate route to intercept them with his car. As the 3 migrants climb over some rocks, the dog pursues them closely. Moises eventually spots Sam's car and decides to hide. As the group continues running from one place to another, Sam's dog finally catches up to them. The dog starts barking at the sight of something, and when Sam arrives, he only sees Lobo. Sam is about to shoot Lobo, but before he can, Lobo falls. The dog reaches Lobo and starts biting him. Moments later, Sam arrives and kills Lobo. Now only Moises and Adela are left. They hide in a safe spot, but Moises' son's teddy bear suddenly starts ringing. Moises quickly takes the bear out of his bag and shuts it off, but the sound alerts Sam, making him realize there are still survivors nearby. However, he is unable to locate them. As night falls, Moises and Adela sit together. Adela shares her story, explaining that her parents sent her to America for safety because Mexico was too dangerous. They had arranged for a man to accompany and protect her, but he was killed earlier. Moises then shares his own story. He tells Adela that he once lived illegally in America with his family. However, he was arrested after an accident and sent to jail. Eventually, he was deported to a Mexican prison because of his nationality. Before he was taken away, his son gave him the damaged teddy bear as a keepsake. Since then, he hasn't seen his son and is desperate to reunite with him. Meanwhile, Sam sits by a campfire in the forest, deciding to leave the area the following morning. At dawn, as Sam prepares to leave, Adela spots him. She tries to approach Moises, but encounters several snakes on the way. Fortunately, she manages to escape the snakes and reaches him. Moises and Adela then devise a plan. Later, when Sam and his dog are resting, they hear a sound. Investigating, they find the teddy bear placed as a distraction. Realizing he's been tricked, Sam spots Moises and Adela running toward his car. He fires at them but misses. The dog gives chase, but Moises manages to unlock the car door with great difficulty. Both he and Adela get inside, escaping the dog. Moises and Adela drive off, relieved to think they've finally escaped Sam. However, their relief is short-lived as Sam shoots at the car, hitting Adela in the arm. The injury causes Moises to lose control of the vehicle, and it overturns violently. Moises emerges from the accident unharmed. He pulls Adela out of the wreckage and helps her to safety. Shortly after, Sam arrives at the crashed car with his dog, only to find it empty. Once again, he sets his dog on their trail. Moises and Adela find a place to rest. Moises retrieves a first aid box from the wrecked car. Inside, he discovers a flare gun. He tells Adela that he has to leave because staying together will put them both in danger. Adela, injured and vulnerable, pleads with him not to leave her. Moises, unwilling to abandon her, explains that if he stays, Sam will kill them both. Reluctantly, he decides to leave Adela behind. Sam, following the trail of blood, eventually reaches Adela's location. At that moment, Moises fires the flare gun, its light drawing Sam's attention. Convinced Adela won't survive her injuries, Sam decides to leave her and commands his dog to pursue Moises instead. Moises runs into a thicket of thorny plants, which cut and injure him. Sam's dog catches up, but Moises shoots it with the flare gun, injuring the animal. Moises escapes while the injured dog struggles in pain. When Sam finds his dog, he sees that it is badly burned and suffering. Heartbroken, Sam reluctantly ends the dog's life to free it from its misery. Moises spots a car in the distance and begins chasing it. Just then, Sam arrives, enraged and firing at Moises. Moises manages to find cover and hides. When Sam approaches, Moises ambushes him, leaping from above and dragging Sam down with him. Sam falls hard, injuring himself badly and losing the ability to walk. His rifle lands far from him, but Moises reaches it first. Pointing the rifle at Sam, Moises hesitates as Sam begs for his life, pleading for mercy. Moises spares him, but leaves him to die alone in the desert. Moises then returns to Adela, who is still alive but gravely injured. He carefully lifts her onto his back and begins a long, grueling journey through the desert. As the sun sets, he finally sees their destination, bright lights from vehicles in the distance. Filled with hope, Moises moves toward the lights, carrying Adela with him. And this is where the survival story ends. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.